Hi, I'm TJ Thielen with Source Allies. Welcome back to the series where we walk through all of the basic configuration of Codebeamer, where we take out-of-the-box Codebeamer and configure it for our own project. In this video, I'm going to show you how to manage requirements. So to start out, here I am in the Trackers tab in Codebeamer, and I'm going to select this requirements tracker on the left that we created in the last video. In here, you can see that we have no items in it, but there's a couple ways that we could add an item. We could click this Add Item button or this plus icon up here. I'm going to show you what that looks like. If I just do a manually created item with a description and click Save. And as you can see, we now have the item that we just created, which worked perfectly fine. However, it was a little bit slow, and if we have a ton of requirements, there is a much better way of doing this. The easiest way is if you see these three dots up here, there's an import option, and we're going to select that. So as you can see, Codebeamer supports many different formats of files that can be imported as requirements. We have Word, Excel, Project, and CSV. In my example, I'm going to be using Word. Luckily for us, it has a little description of how they expect the Word file to be formatted in order to properly import requirements into Codebeamer. And this is the same with any of these. These all should work perfectly fine if you follow the instructions. I'm going to pull up my Word document. And yeah, as you can see, we have heading style changes to indicate different items and paragraph text for the descriptions. This should work perfectly fine. So if I attach this file and select Next, as you can see, we have two new items that will be showing up in the requirements. Over on the right, you can see that we also have import rules. This is where you could specify if only part of the document you want to be imported or if you want it to be imported into a different tracker. For our case, we're just going to leave it how it is and import everything into the requirements tracker and select Save. Perfect. So as you can see, we have the manually created item and the two new items that we just imported from the Word document. Now, what is the last step in making sure that these requirements are properly configured? Well, we really want to take advantage of the traceability that Codebeamer has to offer, and we can do that by using associations. So if you select an item and come over to the right tab, you can see that we have an Add Association button. So I'm going to select that, and it opens up this menu where you can see we have association types. We can add a baseline, we can propagate suspects, and we can propagate unresolved item dependencies. For this, I'm going to add an association, and I am going to propagate the suspects. Now, what does propagating suspects mean? Well, this means that whatever item I associate this with, it will propagate a suspect flag to indicate that something has changed to all the items downstream from that item that you changed. And you can make that upstream by selecting reverse direction, or you could do bidirectional, which would mean that suspect flags would show up in both directions of a change. For this example, I am going to select bidirectional and link it to this manually created item that we previously created. And then I'm just going to select Add. All right, so now in this right pane, you can see the item that we just selected has an association to the manually created item with a suspected flag. Perfect. So now let's see this in action. If we edit this item and we say test item 3 and hit save, now you can see, oh, we have a suspected flag. And if you click on this, you can even see why it is suspected and what changed. Perfect. So hopefully you learned something about how you can import requirements, manage them, and create associations. Yeah, please like the video if you enjoyed. If you still have any unanswered questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching.